I'm here, and what a gorgeous morning this is. Just check this out. It's been a bit of a mad rush to get here, and it was pretty fogged in where are we? Where am I looking? Over there. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. Bit of a mad rush when I got here, but because the light was just starting to really kick off. It is absolutely gorgeous this morning. I feel like I should be whispering because it's like church. This is my church, and the light is just spectacular. I could not have asked for anything better. So there's not a breath of wind, and so I've got my image framed up here. I can show you behind me. Beautiful colours, beautiful pink, and it's not going to last too much longer. So I'm going to get this image here. I've got it framed up on, there's a little island out there on the right hand side. I moved down the trail a little bit to get the mountain and the island on the right to fill up the frame. Lots of reflections, lots of colour. Gorgeous shot. Yes. Oh, that was worth coming up here for. Fantastic. Good morning everyone, and welcome to another video from the gorgeous Cascades in Washington. Early morning this morning, got up at 4 o'clock, drove about 2 hours to get here. Didn't know what the light was going to be like. They said there'd be some fog, which I was pretty excited about, and there is, but the light is just absolutely stunning. Not a breath of wind. I was thinking about a long exposure, but I just don't need to do one up here because the water is so still. And a little bit frantic. I don't like the rushing around, but when you see light develop like that, it doesn't last all day, and you just have to go for it. And I got probably 3 or 4 images I think will be potentially quite good. Now I can relax a little bit and just watch the fog as it sort of meanders around the lake here behind me. So my composition, I was mentioning what I was trying to do. I tried to fill the frame with the mountain and this little island that you can see, right? There's a little island right there with some trees on that look good. The mountain was here, it was out a few minutes ago. And then obviously the lake. So I tried to fill as much of the frame as I could with reflections, mountain and island, and I think I achieved that. And obviously the color was just fantastic. Wow. It's nice when it all comes together. It really, it really is. It doesn't happen that often, but wow. And I'm here, there's no one around, it's cold. It's in the 20s, but I do have some gloves with me this time. So, but I'm gonna just enjoy this moment here for a little while, and maybe take the long lens out and see if I can grab a couple of shots with that. But if nothing else happens this morning, that's okay. I got it. I just got it. With maybe a minute to spare. So now I think I can be perhaps a little more critical of my composition. there's not a lot going on in the foreground. Unfortunately I didn't really have a chance to move, as I mentioned earlier, but the mountain was right about there. It's kind of covered in fog now, and this is this little island I was talking about right there. So I was originally down the path over there, and the trees and the mountain were competing with each other, so I moved down, I don't know, about 30 or 40 yards, and had the mountain on the left hand side of the frame, or actually in the middle of the frame. The island was on the right, and then the lake was on the left. So it might be a little bit unbalanced. There might be too much going on the right hand side of the frame. In that case I might have to crop it, but as you can see, I don't know if you can see, the mountain is just starting to come out, so I might have to see if I can get a composition there with my long lens. I cannot believe, look at that, isn't that something? What a morning. It's just could not be better. Fantastic. Wow, so I quickly frantically changed to my wide angle because I couldn't get the complete reflection in with my long lens. I was right in between. I went back there to see if it would work, and I still couldn't do it, and I didn't want to miss the shot, so I quickly ran back down to the lake, put my wide angle lens on, and framed up a shot that was just gorgeous. So I think I'm going to take this shot here. I walked around, it took me about 15 minutes to travel about 50 yards with the ice and everything else to deal with. Now this is a better composition than I had before, no question. I got some foreground interest with the rocks, but there's no light. So, interesting dilemma, this question of good light or good composition. Well, obviously both is best, but I'll take this photo and you can see that it's probably a better composition, but there's just no light compared to the previous location where I had the most epic light. And it was a decent composition, but it wasn't as strong as this one. So I'm going to set up here and take this shot here. I'll frame it up, show you what I'm going to do, and then take the shot. There's my composition. I've got some rocks leading from the bottom left into the middle of the frame, which is sort of where I want your eye to go. I've got a bit of balance with the island and the mountain on the right, and then the fog and the other mountain on the left. So it's quite a nice composition. I like it. However, there is just no light. No light. If it had the light I had earlier here, then I might have had something really special, but I didn't know where I was going, and I probably couldn't have got here in time anyway. It's a pretty shot. If I'd had nothing else to go by today, then I'd have been probably quite happy with this, but anyway, I'll take the shot here. I'm at got my wide angle lens on again. I'm shooting at 24 millimeters. 1/20th of a second. I tend to go a little dark with my images, which I'm always worried about the highlights being blown out. So I'm going to go about 1/15th of a second. I might have to do it at post-processing on the sky perhaps. I could bracket, but I don't think I need to. Everything should be in focus. If I focus on the horizon, the closest rock is far enough away. Should be okay. So there's the scene right there on the back of the camera. 2-second timer. There it is. So I'll be interested to see what you think of my images today, whether light or composition, because I think one had one and one had the other, and but I didn't quite get both together today, but never mind. It was just fantastic to come out and just experience this. It was great, and as you can see I was pretty excited earlier on. So everybody, that's probably going to do it for this video from gorgeous Lake Wenatchee in Washington. What a morning. What a morning. I'm absolutely thrilled. I looked on the back of the camera and I'm pretty thrilled with a couple of images I've got. Just totally up my alley. Lots of colour. Beautiful light. Perhaps not the strongest composition, as I mentioned. This is probably a better one right here. But you know, you do what you can. So anyway, hopefully this video inspires you to get out and shoot something, and get out into nature and enjoy the scenery and the quiet and peacefulness of it all. That's really the objective with this channel, as I mentioned earlier. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one pretty soon. Bye for now.